Did you get my invite on the FB?
Checking it. Yeah.
Brilliant.
No, I have not received an invite still. Now it should come. Yeah. So we are live on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, we are
And what
live
about
on
for
YouTube.
FB? Are we live on FB as well? I did send
I
you the
can
invite.
see you on Facebook, but I have not
1 second.
received. Yes, guys, we are live on YouTube and we are trying to get live on Facebook
It
as
shows to
well.
me that I've sent you the I think Jaydev Nish
I
Jadeja is
think
joining. Yeah.
you have to mute your mobile, or I think somewhere it is echoing.
It's echoing, right?
Yeah.
But my mobile phone does not have to do anything with. Can you check it now? Is it okay?
Still, I am able to hear an echo. Or else, have you opened YouTube on?
I haven't opened the YouTube yet.
But somewhere I'm getting two voices. It's fine, I
Mm.
think.
Yeah, we can continue as long as audience is able to hear
Yeah.
us.
Yep.
It's okay.
Yeah, so we are live on Facebook and YouTube as well. So people, we are really sorry because of this technological, not exactly it's a glitch, but somehow we are
You
doing it
know,
after very long period. So somehow we were a bit confused about some
yeah, and
technology.
we would also like to, appreciate your patience. That
Yeah,
because of the fact that we are doing this live after a long hold, a long period of time,
true.
and we went away. We were busy in something, and we were definitely planning, and we made sure that we will continue this. So really appreciate your patience that you have been patiently waiting for this, and made sure that you are with us and joining us. So thanks a lot for your patience. So over to you, Piyush. Let's continue with our discussion. I think it's okay. I mean, it's not echoing that much that we
Yeah,
were wondering. Yeah.
yeah. So first of all, I genuinely want to apologize to our audience as well that, we did our first episode almost 1.5 months back,
Yeah.
but after that we were not able to continue it. But now, as we have decided that every week, so I just want to, you know, inform our audience that now we have decided that whatever it takes, or so we are promising that every Thursday and at 10 p.m. we will come live on YouTube and Facebook as well,
Absolutely.
and we will interact with you. And as our podcast name is Life Indeed, the podcast where we discuss about life the way it is not.
Absolutely.
So, yep, Tosif. So,
So yep,
today,
I think it was great because this discussion was very much important because I'm sure we both let our audience guessing what happened, and when is the second episode. So finally we announced it,
yep,
and so as we know that the essence of our podcast life indeed is that we over here we always try to figure out and come up with those issues of
right,
and those perspective which are not commonly discussed and not
right,
commonly exhibited in public.
right,
And but this is for sure that if we adopt those perspective, if we go ahead and follow those perspective, it can change the course of our life. So today, as usual in our first episode, let me just quickly go ahead and recap what we did. So we shared about our story, how we met with each other, and from there on, October 2018, how we have evolved. We both went on a journey to improve ourselves, as well as side by side share our content with the audience. And we are thankful that we got so much of love, and that's where we decided the learning that we have received, the knowledge and the perspective that we have learned So we decided to share this and distribute it to the society to make an impact with the society at large. So we are yet again here with our second episode, and today we are going to discuss about uh, our personal core issues that we have faced, the hurdles, the drawbacks that we have faced, and how did we overcome the inferiority complex that we had, and how did we overcome, and what did you learn out of this? And I'm sure that because of the issue that we are going to discuss, I assume that those are very common and very issues which are neglected by people. But if we work on those, I think a lot of people, a lot of you would be able to relate to it. And we would like to welcome, if you have any, your perspective, which you have experienced after our discussion, please do drop a comment, because we would like to definitely get back to you on those feedback and comments. And, uh, and we would love to invite if anybody wants to come and join us in the upcoming episodes.
Great, absolutely, absolutely right. So what exactly we are going to discuss today is about everything which we have experienced in our life with respect to inferiority complex. So today's subject is going to be inferiority complex, and why we are discussing about inferiority complex is because in the very first episode when we share our stories, and especially the story or some of the parts of our story where we discuss about how we experienced inferiority complex with respect to a lot of things in our life, people were able to correlate, people were able to you know uh, get engaged on an emotional level. And that is why we decided that let's bring this topic on table, and let's have a healthy discussion, or at least have so that people can start talking about it, especially.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I still remember, I think
Yeah,
you raised about one of your inferiority complex, which was related to the color of your skin.
right,
And I think, as we know in India, we are not, very, I mean, extremely white, and not neither we are very black. But somewhere down the line, as you rightly mentioned in the last episode, that this problem is this inferiority complex is actually staying with a lot of people.
correct,
But the problem is, a lot of people receive those bullies, and they are ridiculed and mocked, but they don't speak against it, or probably they don't overcome. They become a victim of that, the thoughts which are inflicted upon us by the people who are in, higher in superiority, maybe are, you know people who are in our family, or in our colleagues, who may be a little bit higher in authority. They inflict those thought on us, and we accept those as a reality, though they are
right,
perceptions. So we would like
right.
to definitely talk a little bit about that. So Piyush, shows throw
In
some light
fact,
on that.
one very uh, important point which I would like to interject at this moment of discussion is, so nowadays, because many celebrities or many well-known person who who has gone through depression, and now they have started talking about this. Many people have become vocal about depression nowadays
Absolutely.
in last 5 years or 10 years, I can say. But the point is, so depression is a kind of later on stage, but how it starts is inferiority complex.
Absolutely.
And it's very important to understand the root cause. Until
Correct.
unless you are not working upon the root cause, it's very difficult, or it's almost next to impossible to remove something completely, right?
Agree.
So people are talking about depression, they are sharing their depression stories and all those stuff, but then
Hmm.
we have to go into the core,
Hmm.
how it starts. So
Absolutely.
inferiority complex, this particular problem is one of the reasons why people get into anxiety disorder or depression,
Absolutely
right?
agree. And because inferiority complex actually breeds the limiting beliefs in us.
Correct.
And as we all know that these are the beliefs, like limiting or the positive or negative beliefs, which
Right.
actually guides us to take the decision in our life.
Correct.
So if we have certain limiting beliefs, I mean, inferiority complex is nothing but a feeling of incompleteness. You feel like you are missing out on something. And that feeling actually becomes one of your belief. And that's how it guides you to take those limited decisions. But as I'm sure Piyush is going to discuss about his example, that how did he overcome his inferiority complex, and one of his weakness, which he converted that inferiority complex into superiority complex, and he started being vocal and started talking about this.
Right.
So we would like to know, Piyush, how did you do that?
So, see, so what I study with respect to inferiority complex, and what I know about inferiority complex is, so most of the people start, so as a human being, we need to understand inferiority complex at a human level, you know. So as a human being, we all have those inferior feelings inside us.
Absolutely.
So when we are growing, when we are child, we are more vulnerable towards our inferior feelings, where we
Yeah.
feel that we are inferior in certain things.
Absolutely.
So the point is, but if this inferior feeling is getting provoked by certain types of talks, or if people are not supporting you, or people are not encouraging you, then this inferior things can become, worst
One
as
of the
well. And
worst as
that
well.
is how it all starts.
Absolutely. And I would like to, add upon one thing over here. And I was watching one of the video where it was being discussed that, when we are kids, as we all know that we have two types of brain, subconscious and conscious mind,
Right.
two faculties. So when we are kids, we whenever somebody in superiority tells you something, or talk about something which you are not good at, then you do not have a capacity or capability to reject or choose the ideas.
Right.
So what it basically does, those talks, those negative bullies, or the thoughts which are inflicted upon you, they
Hmm.
bypasses your conscious mind and reaches directly to your subconscious mind. And over a period of time, you form that belief that yes, I'm like that.
Right.
I am not good at something, or I'm bad at something. So that becomes, though that is a perception and that can be changed as well. But there is a way, definitely we are going to discuss over here, how can we make sure that we come out of that situation, because we have experienced the same.
Right.
So
So most people, have inferiority complex mostly with respect to their physical appearances, right?
absolutely.
So whether it's about their height, whether it's about their skin color, whether it's about their hair, or about anything, or then people have inferiority complex about their communication skill. People have
Absolutely.
inferiority complex with respect to many other things actually, where they think, they believe that just because they are not good at something, they will not be able to achieve certain things in their life, right? So
Absolutely.
so as I have gone through inferiority complex with respect to my skin color actually, and in India, it's a very common inferiority complex most people used to have, because we are not a country of fair people, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And so when I started having this feeling that just because I'm not a fair guy, I will not be able to achieve certain things in my life. But as a child, or as a small kid, I didn't have any idea that becoming successful in life has nothing to do with your skin color,
Absolutely.
you know. But then once I get entrapped into one type of inferiority complex, then it was like a series, then I have started getting into other inferiority complex as well, because
Absolutely.
I have, developed that kind of mindset during my childhood only,
Definitely.
that
You
I'm
know,
limited, I'm not sufficient, basically. And that's a very, very dangerous feeling to have as a
absolutely.
kid, especially.
So, Piyush, I would like to ask you one question. So, as you
Yeah,
said that,
please.
you know, you developed this inferiority complex over a period of time. So, what was the source of that, inferiority complex? What was the origin? Where did you get it from? Like, did you get it from your family or maybe schooling time, college? Or who were the people? Like, how did you develop it?
I think so. As far as my personal experience is concerned, so uh, what I remember is so it's like, people make joke around it actually,
Absolutely,
right?
they
But
do.
then as a kid, you are not aware that whether that person is cracking a joke, or that person is serious,
Mm,
right?
absolutely,
So as a kid, you are not able to understand that what exactly is going on, though might be that person is just making a joke.
yeah,
Genuinely that person might be making a joke, but as a kid you are not able to understand. It directly hits your personality, it directly hits your emotions, right? And if
absolutely,
such kind of incidents keep on happening again and again,
yeah.
then as a child you start thinking that okay, something is wrong with me.
Something is wrong with you, yeah.
So the point is, so when such things are happening, you need someone who can make you understand that this type of things are going to happen in your life.
Absolutely.
There
Somebody
are
can set
people,
your
yeah,
expectation,
exactly, exactly, exactly. But
right?
somehow, so I was a very introvert kind of child. In fact, I'm an introvert till date, but I have make a peace with my introvertness. So now nobody recognize me as an introvert. But so I was an introvert, shy kid. So and because of this kind of conversations around my skin color, I have, started avoiding my social interactions as well.
Mm.
I have started spending a lot of time lonely,
Yeah, because
and
of the belief that you formed.
yeah, yeah. So you need to understand it's a process. You know, nothing happens overnight.
Absolutely.
So
And
you need to understand. You as a parent, or if you are making a joke around someone's height, or someone's skin color, or about someone's hair type, or anything,
yeah,
you
absolutely.
need to understand whether you are going out of the limit or not, or are you telling that person that I'm just making a joke only, don't take it seriously. but
Absolutely.
but
So,
people don't understand this. Yeah,
just wanted to add a small point on this. As you
yeah,
said that,
please.
during your childhood, there were a lot of people who used to mock,
Hmm.
ridicule, they used to crack jokes about the
Right.
skin color that you had. So, I think there is a small, very tiny difference between a humor and a degradation. So, as you
Right.
said that as a child, you did not have that capacity to understand whether that was a humor or it was
Right.
a degradation,
Right.
because and that's how we directly accept it as a reality, and we start
Correct.
feeling and developing that feeling. Yes, that's how I am. So, I cannot become something because I have a limitation. I have a
Hmm.
constraint that will hinder something, to achieve any success in life. So I think that's so the role of parents become very important to actually
Absolutely.
educate their children to kids that these kind of things would definitely you would have to face in your school time in
Correct.
college till you become adult, till you understand things, till you understand the difference between a humor and degradation, till you have the capacity to reject ideas and to keep the ones that you need for your life or
Correct.
for something that you wish to become. I think it we as a parents have to fulfill the responsibility of educating our kids
Right.
at that very moment, because I think
Right.
that's where we missed on. And we experience this. That's the reason we are coming here and discuss about all these things
Correct,
today.
correct, correct, correct. And I think so. Once you developed a kind of inferiority complex with respect to one particular topic, then that one inferiority complex work as a catalyst towards other inferiority complex as well.
Brilliant.
You know,
Absolutely,
then
because
yeah,
you get the way to, transform that inferiority complex into
correct,
superiority complex or as a strength. So
correct,
probably you're able to apply those logics principles to, and then you become very vulnerable when you talk about your own limitations and inferiority complex. That's a very deadly stage. That's where
true,
you actually understood it. You recognize one of your limiting belief or inferiority complex, you recognize the source, and then you went on to transform that as one of your strength. So I
correct,
think that's the beauty of understanding the process, and actually transforming
right,
inferiority
right,
complex.
right, 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 right.
So brilliant to see. I mean, it is an amazing example. So I am pretty sure that a lot of people in India, have had this inferiority complex in the past, and they're still having it. And it is definitely, it comes from society at large, and a lot of people face it. But I'm sure people who are watching this video or who may watch it in the future would definitely be able to resonate and relate
Correct,
and understand that, if one person can overcome the limitation within the life, then obviously anybody can do it, because
correct,
ultimately we all are human being. We have those capacities, we have those powers, so-called, superpowers, as
right,
rightly mentioned in your books. So it is just that we need to uncover them.
right, right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you did you have any inferiority complex or any incident in your life?
Definitely, Piyush. So thanks for this question, because I think I talked about, I threw a very small light in the last episode that I talked
Mm-hmm.
about that I developed one of the inferiority complex, that my English was not good.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
in order to understand this, I will take my audience little bit back when I was a kid. So where actually I developed the interest to learn about English or the communication. So during my childhood, in our actually the vicinity of the hometown in my family, there was
Mm.
no tradition of study or education. You were just supposed to go ahead and grow as a kid. When you become adult, you just go and work in the field, which is absolutely fine, because we have a lot of 75% people in India are farmers.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that you should not educate your kids.
Of
So the
course.
problem which I had in my family was like, uh, once you become adult, you have to go to field and
Mm.
work, and you do not have to, study,
Right.
because of the fact that there was no person who was actually, I would say, I'm very vocal about it, who was educated within my family, apart from my mom,
Mm.
who was educated, literate, and she belonged to Delhi. Sure. So contrary to what my grandfather wanted, actually, to
Mm-hmm.
me to work in field, my mom always actually challenged that thought, and she always wanted me to study and become something, better in life,
Mm-hmm.
contrary to what everybody did in the family.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember in Uttar Pradesh, I'm not sure about the current situation, but at that time when I was actually studying, there was a tradition that you are actually taught ABC from class 6. So like from first grade to fifth grade, you don't
I am
even
one of
know.
I
You
am
don't.
one of the students of that same phenomena.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
you don't even know what English is.
Yeah.
You're far from the reality of, you don't know. So
Correct.
but how did I develop the interest is one of the interesting stories. So I'm a very, ardent fan of cricket. So I used to have a very, the old type stereotypical transistor. So I used to
Mm-hmm.
listen to cricket commentary,
Okay.
and I always used to prefer that I should listen to cricket commentary in English, because that's how I used to try to imitate them,
Right.
emulate them after the cricket match was over.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I started getting the opportunity to do the commentary in our local cricket leagues in our in surroundings like hometown, the we used to go. I used to be invited, so I used to like do commentating in my own language. That was very absurd and awkward at
Mm-hmm.
that time. But people around me actually didn't know how to speak English, so for them it was really good,
Okay.
and I felt as if I was doing good because
Mm-hmm.
people used to compliment me that Tausif, somebody's commentating in English,
Mm.
so which is like something which was unprecedented. It
Of
has
course.
never happened in our hometown.
Right.
So I used to be invited, but the real problem happened when I came to Delhi.
Mm.
Uh, I came from a complete rural area to urban area. I
Mm-hmm.
faced a lot of issues with my pronunciation, articulation, thought process, with the way I used to speak. A lot of things that I used to pronounce was absolutely incorrect, and I was mocked. I still remember I attended one of the coaching classes. So there were few friends in the park. I overheard that this guy has come from village, so obviously he cannot match our level and potential. And but it became even more worse when I went for an interview and I joined a multinational organization.
What was your age at that time?
When I came to Delhi in 2006, I think I was 21, 22.
21, 22. So
21,
so
22, yeah.
here it's also very important point to understand that it just inferiority complex. Yeah, majority of the experiences comes from your childhood experiences,
Absolutely.
and it starts from your childhood experiences. But
Absolutely.
as you said that you were 21, 22 years
Yeah.
old, and still you were vulnerable at that time as well.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
it's very important to understand that you can get exposed to your inferior feelings at any age of your life.
At any age. And that's the reason that, if somebody tells you repeatedly about a lie, you start accepting it.
Correct.
It's a fact. And
True.
even a grown up people can accept it. But one power that a grown up people has is they have the power to do a research. They have the power to check, validate whether someone who's telling me something, is that actually correct or not. That is something that a grown-up people or an adult can do. But again, that capability is
Hmm.
formed over a period of time. That
Right.
mindset is formed over a period of time.
Right. But in fact, here one more important point to understand is, so inferiority feeling is not a negative feeling at all, actually.
Absolutely.
So, as a human being, we are tends to have this inferior feelings because we are social animals, right? So
Correct.
we always compare ourselves with others.
Definitely.
That person or that friend is doing like this, that my fellow colleague is performing like this, he has this, she has, so it's very natural that we compare ourselves with others.
It's
And
very
when we
natural.
compare ourselves with others, it's natural to happen that we feel inferior,
Inferior. Feel
right?
inferior.
Because there are people who must be doing great as compared to you,
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
it's very natural that you feel that inferiority in yourself. But
Definitely.
with the help of this inferiority feeling, one can take a challenge, or one can take it as a positive note, that if I'm inferior in something, I need to work upon that. So as you
Absolutely.
said very correctly, that as an adult we have this choice, that
Yep.
once you have this feeling that I am inferior in something, you need to take it as a challenge, or you need to take it on a positive note,
Definitely. And that's
right? And that's what you did in your life.
so up until 21, I would
Because
say.
I can see you on social media, and the way you are speaking on your videos, and I mean, I don't know how many likes you are getting on social media. Thousands and thousands of likes you are getting, and that is because of your communication skill as well.
Thank you.
right?
I'm
So you
love
overcame
to listen to that for that.
your inferiority complex.
Yeah, I always believe myself a work in progress, and that's something that motivate me to work more. And because communication is something that you I don't think that you can master and become a perfectionist, but but I
Right.
feel I always feel good to hear such wonderful feedback, and especially when
Correct.
it comes from a person like you. So in
Hmm.
continuation to what I was saying, basically, so when I came to Delhi, so I started to develop that inferior feeling because I was feeling
Hmm.
something else. I was considering myself that I speak good English, but when I came to
Hmm.
Delhi, I faced competition. As you rightly said, that when I started comparing myself with the people who spoke really well at that time, then
Hmm.
it started arising a feeling of inferiority within myself, that I started to feel that yes, I need to work a lot, and I didn't know how at that time, and I developed this feeling, and it became
Right.
more worse when I joined corporate. Literally,
Hmm.
my email etiquettes were mocked, and I was told on my face that you need to really work on your English, spoken English.
Right.
And
Right.
then I, because of the fact that I used to pronounce few words very badly, and one more reason, because I worked in an international process, so it was a
Hmm.
real requirement that you should
Hmm.
speak in their language, some
Correct.
language that they could understand. Probably we
Hmm.
Indian, other Indians were able to understand me, and I was able to convey my message to them. But to convey the message to an international person, probably in United States or UK, it was a bit
Hmm.
difficult. So my
Of course.
quality coach used to talk to me. They used to encourage me, but obviously different people, when you are in in your group, then you actually, inferiority complex is not something that you are often, you receive it verbally. At times you feel it as well.
Hmm.
So I
True.
used to feel that. I used to feel that I am inferior. My English is not good. But even worse, for 4 to 5 years, I did not do anything. I did not even
Hmm.
realize that I have to improve something. Because
Right.
up until then, I was in a dilemma. I was in illusion that yes, this is one of my inferiority complex, but I hang in around there. I did not do anything. I kept thinking
Yeah.
that I am not worthy, I cannot make it, or maybe because of this English I don't think that I'm going to get promotions. A lot of other things I developed, but
Because I
again,
think
as
then you start living in that bubble that you know
right,
so that inferiority complex just keep on increasing, so then you get
absolutely,
surrounded with those feelings that if I will take some action as well, then also I will not be able to overcome it,
definitely, definitely.
because you
So
literally, so that next step, or you can say it starts becoming more uh, worst actually, that
absolutely,
as I said that more and more layers keep on getting added onto that inferiority complex.
absolutely, and that's the reason, no wonder why people suicide. They commit suicide because of the fact that it goes to a, it goes to a position wherein it, a blast occurs, and then they succumb to that kind of a decision. They take that decision
Right.
in their life. So it is very important for all of us to take decisions, identify those inferiority complex, no matter what it is. Maybe we can jot it down and we can write it on a piece of paper what those limitations are, and identify the source, and then try to transform it. So on the same
Right.
line, Piyush, I would like to know, you spoke about your inferiority complex related to the color of your skin. I think you spoke in your book at large about this. You explained it really well there, and I know for a fact, because of the fact that I have read that book, so I know how you transformed it. But I don't think that the audience is aware that how did you transform that limiting belief? How did you transform that inferiority complex?
Right. Right. So so basically if I you know so just till now we just keep on talking about the problems, right? That inferiority complex is a
Yeah,
problem. And then now let's focus on a solution part as well, because it's we are not here to just keep on
Talking about the problem.
just talking about problems, or just keep on complaining about something. We also feel that, we also believe that we need to become solution oriented people as well.
Definitely.
So I think there could be two ways by which you can overcome your inferiority complex. But until unless you do not recognize that you have that inferiority complex with respect to something, because I personally believe very strongly that until unless you do not accept something, you cannot improvise,
Absolutely.
right? Because if I'm not accepting that I am lacking somewhere, or I have something which is wrong, if I'm not accepting, then how I will take some action? Because
Definitely.
I don't have to
Definitely.
work upon something which is good, which is perfect. Why I
Absolutely.
need to improvise further? So I think the very first step is people need to identify, people need to accept that I have this inferiority complex within me,
Definitely.
right? People should try to become more vulnerable. People should try to express against people that, okay, I have such kind of feelings about my height, or about my skin color, or about, whatever,
Mm.
with respect to anything, you have your inferiority complex. So I did the same thing. I was I was able to recognize, I was able to identify that I have this inferiority complex with respect to my skin color. and and
Absolutely.
and once I was able to accept that, once I was able to make a peace with my inferiority complex, I have started talking about my skin tone as much as possible. In fact, I have started cracking jokes around it.
You became vulnerable.
Yeah. So, if somebody, before somebody make a joke around my skin color, I have started making jokes, or I have started making fun of myself.
Yeah. Which is one of the
So,
good
yeah,
way, in fact, to
yeah,
I mean, become the center of attraction and start cracking the joke
absolutely,
about
absolutely.
your inferiority complex before someone else jump into and take the advantage.
I think what happened is, we just keep on fighting with our emotions, with our feelings, with our beliefs.
Hmm.
You have to make a peace with your emotions,
Hmm.
because when you are keep on fighting, you are not able to overcome it. You are not able to uh, you know uh, you should take it lightly, basically.
Definitely.
So I used to take it very seriously that, I'm a dark skinned person. Even I used to blame God that, कि मुझे ऐसा क्यों बनाया.
A lot of people do that in India, by
Yeah,
the way,
yeah, absolutely,
for several
absolutely.
other things.
Yeah, but you need to understand that it has nothing to do with whatever you want to do in your life.
Definitely.
And there could be some other options as well, that you can find a person with whom you can discuss your inferiority complex issues, because it's also important that you let out those feelings that you
Absolutely.
you went out, basically.
We share those feelings with
Yeah,
others.
because
Whom you
most people
trust.
just keep on dragging those feelings.
Absolutely, and I think I have myself experienced this, and this is a very valid point that you have raised, Piyush, because
Mm-hmm.
at times something keeps cooking inside you, and you do not share it. You do not share it with the person. Either you share it with the person whom you are facing the problem with, or you share with the person whom you really love and you trust.
Correct.
So, in fact, I was watching one of the video from Robin Sharma, and he was discussing about this, that when you talk about your inferiority complex or the problems which are cooking inside you with someone who you trust, some biological changes happen within your brain,
Exactly.
and those leads to the good feelings, that hormones develops inside you, and you start feeling good about it.
Right.
And that's how journaling has been one of the very important part. He also talks
Correct.
about that whatever good, bad, whatever you're feeling, you just start writing about it. I
Correct.
think he also, you are one of the biggest fan of Robin Sharma, so you must have read about him that he went through a lot of
Correct.
lot of difficulties in his life, personal
True.
life as well. So, and he was very vulnerable enough to talk about that as well. So he was explaining that I used to write my difficult times on a piece of paper every time. So every time he would face problems, every time he would face stress, he would just write it on a piece of paper. So
Right.
that used to relax him. So I think what you raise this point, I think this is one of the very good point, that whatever you are feeling as an individual, you should actually take it out from you and share it with someone you trust, and
Correct.
it really helps you know you.
True. True. But here, Tausif, the challenge is, it's a bit difficult to find that kind of person who
Absolutely
can actually understand your emotions.
correct.
Because sometimes it can boomerang as well. That
It can backfire, definitely.
you want to share your emotions, you want to become vulnerable, and then that same person start taking
Start taking
benefits of
yeah.
your those hidden emotions. So people should be
Absolutely. I mean,
little
on,
bit
on the same
careful.
context, I would like to add one thing here, Piyush.
Yeah.
And I was reading Jay Shetty's book. So he talked about one phrase or
Hmm.
one I would say sentence. So something is called Schadenfreude.
Okay.
Schadenfreude is a word which is used for those people who take pleasure in the suffering of others.
Yeah. So there are
So
people like
there
this.
are people.
Yes.
So I was able to relate to that. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Very
So
true.
rather than
Very true.
sharing it with those Schadenfreude people, share it though with those people who actually understand you.
True.
So it is a bit difficult.
True.
It can be your mom, your mother is the best person in the world to talk about any feelings. But
True.
at the same time, there are many things which you cannot share with your mother. So I agree. I accepted that it is very difficult. But again, alternatively, we can write, we can do the journaling, we can write out our negative or positive thoughts to
True.
because it is one of the way alternative way to vent out
True.
actually.
And I think one more solution could be, which I also have applied in my life as well. Which So you need to take care of yourself. So when I say that you need to take care of yourself is, so let me give you a small story behind this, which I have shared in my book as well. So my inferiority complex with respect to my skin color started with this very famous dialogue of Sholay movie, that Tera
Yeah.
Kya Hoga
Like,
Karya, right? So
yeah.
only uh, so there are two more dialogues in this movie, which in fact helped me to overcome my inferiority complex as well. So one of the dialogue is so गब्बर को सिर्फ एक ही आदमी मार सकता है, वो खुद गब्बर.
Gabbar himself, yeah.
So with respect to, when I say that you need to take care of yourself, means it's you only who can help yourself.
Definitely.
So you need to understand that you can take advices from other people. You can share your emotions with other people, but at the end of the day, by listening those advices,
Advices.
by understanding certain strategies, ultimately it's you only who need
We have
to
to take
take
the decision.
actions.
Decision and take the
Yeah.
action.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So you need to take care of your mental
Health.
fitness. You need to take care of your physical fitness as well.
And I'm
because
sure we are going to talk
yeah,
about in the upcoming episode we are going to talk about our mental
absolutely,
fitness and
absolutely,
health. And
absolutely.
just I'll just take a short moment over here to thank all the listeners
Yeah,
and the
yeah, I
viewers,
was
because we just kept talking. We're really sorry we did not
yeah, yeah,
acknowledge your presence here. So thanks a lot for joining. And I I am facing, I don't know, I'm not getting any comments from the people
yeah.
who
In
might
fact,
be
I'm
posting questions.
yeah,
Piyush, are you getting any comments or all? Because
not really, Tausif. Even I'm not able to.
and I think this is one of the action point for our next session, that we need
Yeah,
to make sure that we are well equipped, so that we are able to get the feedbacks and the questions from the audience as well, because there are few people who are watching on YouTube and a couple of people who actually are
watching
there
on
on
Facebook
Facebook
as
as
well.
well, but because of the fact that we are not getting those comments or the feedback, so we are not able to acknowledge. But I'm pretty sure that you're listening and watching to us, and getting some perspective out of experience that we are sharing
Right.
over here. So thanks a lot for joining, and we are going to quickly discuss about the resolution part, because this is the most important, significant part of transforming your inferiority complex into
Right.
one of your
Right.
strengths. So,
Right.
Piyush, you may continue, please.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think so. As you know, we call our podcast "Life Indeed," where we discuss uh, the life the way it is not, and that's in that same manner we discuss about this inferiority complex, which is, I think, very important point, and people should understand if they are facing any kind of challenges in their life because of inferiority complex, or if they have started developing inferiority complex within them, they should become aware, they should start taking some action as soon
Absolutely.
as possible, whether they can talk with some people who can make them understand, who can tell them that it's okay to have such kind of feelings, or one more thing is they need to take care of themselves by doing exercises, or they can do meditation as well. That
Absolutely.
can also help them. So it's very important, and so that's what the main motive of our podcast, where we are going to talk, we are going to become vocal about such kind of topics, where people avoid talking, or people avoid discussing, because life indeed, that's what the whole motive of our podcast.
Absolutely. It is going to be quite unorthodox. And, as we discussed about our inferiority complex, so we have also planned, as we talked already about, that we are going to invite people, even from our viewers as well, that if you think that you have developed an inferiority complex and you really want to talk about it, or you're looking for a resolution or solution, and that you want to be vocal about it, we would like to welcome you in our upcoming series and episodes.
Absolutely.
We would get back to you, we would talk to you, and we would welcome you here, and we will give you this platform to share about your life experiences, because we believe that it is not only two of the people who are talking about their experiences.
True.
The purpose of our Life Indeed podcast will become, it will be fulfilled when a lot of other people from the world will come and join us, and they will talk about their inferiority complex, because our experience, we believe, may be limited. We may have few examples of our own personal experiences, but I personally feel and believe that there are a lot of people, and every human being is different.
Absolutely.
Their challenges are different, they meet different success. So we would like to understand from you as well, how did you face those inferiority complex, and how are you facing it? Maybe it is possible, it is highly likely that you might be facing certain issues at the moment,
Right.
and you are looking for a resolution. So
Right.
Piyush very beautifully described about how you can transform your inferiority complex. So I would like to recap to it. First of all, you need to accept, because the self acceptance is the first number one priority of doing anything. It can be in any field. So when you
Absolutely.
recognize that you have an inferiority complex, so you got to accept it, that yes, this is something which is one of my limitation, and I need to work on it. Because when you fully accept something, as Piyush rightly said, only then you can transform it. Because if there is no problem, there is no solution. Solution is there because of the problem. So you accept it as a problem, and then you transform, as Piyush rightly said, mentioned about a couple of techniques that you can talk about your emotion, your feelings, share your feelings with your loved ones whom you trust. I talk a bit about journaling. You can pen down your thoughts
True.
instantly, whatever you're feeling. So these are little bit of the things. I would like to add upon one thing over here, Piyush. What you talked about, I definitely have added a couple of points in my kitty as well. So when I was trying to transform recently within couple of years about this limiting belief that my English was not good, the very
Mm-hmm.
first, because of the fact that we have been in this atmosphere, our mastermind group, fellow human being community, and all these
Mm-hmm.
things, this has definitely left a lot of impact on us,
Right.
and that was
Right.
all positive.
Right.
So the first thing that I did, I stopped listening to the people who were saying that your English was not good, because I figured out that there were a lot of people who were saying that your English is good. So rather than
Of
listening
course.
to people who were saying that your English is not good, I rather preferred to listen to the people who were appreciating me. So
Right.
so that actually motivated me. So why would I
Excellent.
go ahead and listen to those cynics or naysayers?
Correct.
So that is something, I would say, that was a mindset transformation. I
True.
accepted that I need to listen to good things, watch good things, because I knew that if I want to transform my limiting belief, I need to first of all, accept within my mind that yes, I can do it.
Correct.
Self acceptance of an inferiority complex should be as good as self acceptance of transforming it as well. Because
True.
if you don't accept it that yes, I can do it, you cannot do it. So
Absolutely.
that was the mindset transformation.
True.
And then obviously, in order to improve your communication, your language, you have a lot of mediums to learn. We have information available in abundance. You can learn from any mentor or coach, or you can practice at your home. What I did, I would like to share a couple of things, a quick hacks. What I did when I was developing my communication skills. So I formed a
Mm-hmm.
friend circle of 3-4 people. So I used to go at 10 p.m. in the park, and we used to
Mm-hmm.
decide a couple of topics, and we used to just go ahead and blah 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 talk about anything. So we used to listen to each other. We used to give the feedback, because
Right.
I firmly believe that when you are inside the jar, you cannot actually look what is happening out in the outside world, what is
Absolutely.
outside of the jar. You can only see the outside world when you come out of the jar. So our friends are our best critics, are our best mentors. As Piyush, you said that you share your feelings with your loved ones. So you form a group of friends who believe in the same values that you
Right.
believe. So I was with those people who wanted to improve their English.
True.
So that helped me. So I came to that level wherein I was able to convey my message to international customers. And then I realized, I started reading books. And then from 2018 October, of course, we met. And then we met a lot of people, of course, during this journey. We understood, we met international mentors, and we got a lot of perspective. And
True.
I remember one incident. So I was a coach with my present organization. So now I have moved to different role. But when I was a coach, uh, one of my operations managers, so his English was better than every other person. I would rate that. So once he came back, and he sat with me, and he said, Tausif, you should start reading. You should start reading. These three words left a profound impact on me. And that's when I decided that I now need to read books. And I ordered my first book, which was Attitude is Everything. And
Mm.
I'm thankful to James Clear that he wrote that book. And I was able to get a lot of perspective out of it. And that kind of gave me a motivation and inspiration that yes, you can do anything, because of the fact that you need to first believe in yourself. That gave
Right.
me a belief. So that helped me, in the mindset transformation, no doubt about it. And then, of course, uh, you need to, as in older time, we used to practice in front of mirrors. So I
Yes.
learned this from one of my mentor, Praveen Vadalkar, that of course when you practice speaking English in front of your home mirror, then you do not have anything to evaluate yourself, because that happens on
True.
a live basis. So then that's how I started making videos, because when you
True.
record yourself,
And you can
you
evaluate.
actually you're able to evaluate yourself.
Right.
And there are two techniques which I would like to share to our viewers, that you mute yourself in the video and just look at your body language, how you are behaving in the video.
Hmm.
That's about improving your body language. And then second technique is just play the sound and do not look at the video. Then look at how you're pronouncing, how you are
Right.
articulating the words, and a lot of other things. So a lot of effort went into this, and we started making videos. Thankfully, I have now 100 plus videos on my YouTube channel, and somewhere down the line it has helped me to evolve my English,
Hmm.
and coming to a level where definitely I can convey my message and I can confidently present myself. So a lot of other things which goes on. If I keep talking about it, it will take hours and hours. But in a gist, that's what I did. And
Great.
thanks to
Great.
you, Piyush, as well, for having so many
Great.
conversations.
Great journey, Tausif. So I think it's almost an hour.
Almost an
We
hour. We
can
didn't
talk for
realize. Yeah,
another hour, but we don't
we need to
want
respect.
to
Yeah,
just keep on talking. It's an important point, but then we have to respect people's time as well. So I think likewise we are going to talk on more and more topics where we will try to share our own personal life experiences by which we can give some perspective to the people so that they can start thinking about their life the way it is not. That's what the whole motive of our podcast.
and like I said, I would like to repeat that we would like to invite people,
Yeah,
and
please.
because we would love to hear from audiences, their perspective, their experiences, because that would help us to take our message to the wider audience and share your experience with our audience as well. So that would
Yeah.
fulfill our purpose as well.
So
So
I think
so I also,
we invite people in our next episode. If you have any
I
inferiority
have
complex
couple of people.
stories,
I
yeah,
have couple of people who actually expressed their wishes to join us,
we would
because of
love
the
to
fact
have
that
them.
they watched our first episode and they really loved it as per them. So they have expressed their opinion that they would love to join us and they would like to share their inferiority complex. So
We would love
definitely,
to have them.
in
Yeah,
all probability, we would have more than two people in the next episode. So
absolutely.
let's hope for the best.
Sure, sure. Yeah. So let's
Let's
conclude
wind
our
up.
today's
Yeah.
episode. And once again, we would like to, you know, say thanks a lot to our audience today. Somehow we were not able to, communicate that what exactly uh, where we are going to come live. We have shared that we will be live on Facebook and YouTube, but we should be more specific. We acknowledge that we accept, because as I said that we need to accept, then only we'll be able to improvise. So we accept our
Definitely.
mistake and next time we will try to improvise. So till then, guys, just keep on sharing your valuable feedback, and if you believe that this particular podcast is adding some value in your life, share it with your friends, family, with anyone to whom this can be useful. And you can subscribe to our channel as well. So till then, good night, take care, and just keep on doing something in your life by which you can evolve. That's what the message is all about. Yeah.
Thanks a lot for joining, guys. Uh, so Piyush has already summarized everything. So looking forward to see you in our next episode.